exactly where it takes. Okay, so this is, well, basically happy International Women's Day.
No, yes,
I
first year I've
know.
kind of celebrated, I guess, really. You know, when it's one of those things where you put it off, but then you think, no, actually, I'm really proud that what.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody messaged me this morning and I was like, "Oh my goodness." So, and I thought, "Oh, how lovely, we're getting to do this International Women's Day." And I've got quite a few booked in. I thought, "Yeah, I'm really pleased to be doing this for women to help to support them wherever they are on the journey." So you've taken a couple of courses with me. You've done your own thing anyway. I've basically what we're going to do is we're going to see what comes out. I did actually douse. I don't know if you know, but I do something called quantum holographic echo healing.
Oh, okay.
And that's very kind of spiritual work with the pendulum. And I read your form, and obviously in your form, it's you know what you want. You're perfect for coaching, don't get me wrong. And I was like, okay, we can go either way. But I always douse to see what's in my client's best interest.
Yep.
So I doused, is it QHEH for short, or coaching, and it came up with QHEH, but
Oh,
I'll
okay.
double check
Yep.
after we've talked a bit more. So this is going to be a pro bono session for you, and we've got some time together, an hour or an hour and a half, and I really want to make it so it's transformational for you. So in your consultation form, there was a lot, and it's all about helping you build your business and get to where you want to be so you can leave your corporate world. And obviously I know how that feels. And we can't make that happen in one session. So if you were to have some kind of breakthrough, a turnaround, an insight that could help you move forward, as in take the next step towards your goal, what do you think that would be? What would it look like for you?
I guess I always say this. There's two words whenever I meditate that always comes up, and it's trust and patience.
Yeah.
So I like to kind of think, oh, I am trusting in the process, but I get so weird because I've got a logical side, then I've got a woo-woo side. And it's almost is that trust, isn't it? If somebody came to me, and I know you probably can't do this, but came to me with a plate and said, you are going to get it, just let it ride out. Then I kind of go, phew, I can relax and enjoy the process. I think it's just understanding that end goal. And then you rock up on social media and your audience is kind of still growing. So it's trusting yourself, I guess. So probably, yeah, sorry. Where I'd love to get to is trusting in myself that actually, yes, continue believing and listening to that inner voice and just go with it rather than having that doubt constantly come in the mind.
I hear you, Laura, and you're totally like resonate. It's like I'm talking to myself right now. Logically, it's stressful running your own business and getting to that place where you can go, okay, financially, this makes sense to take a risk. So that's the logical mind. Obviously, the logical mind looks for meaning, it looks for safety, looks for strategy. So, there's no harm in having that. You're not just going to jump off a cliff and hope your parachute's going to open. So in a way, that's normal. But what we want to look at is how it's actually a problem for you. So the problem lies in, what do you do or don't do when you're not in trust?
I guess I backtrack a lot and then it's almost like I tread water. So what I do is I've got this real thing with control. So as much as, again, I've got this side that says, oh yes, I'm so trustworthy, and then all of a sudden I am like, well, but I've got 4 parachutes, so it's fine. So what I end up doing is I don't procrastinate. I'm very much of a driven person. As long as I've got a plan, as long as I've got a direction, I'm okay. So it's almost like I need some distraction to keep chucking away, and then you kind of don't realize the rest of it. So I guess it's control. I guess for me, it's trust. It really is trust and letting go, letting the reins go. So like exactly what you said about the parachutes. I'm not that kind of person that would just jump off a cliff, but then I'll do that, but I've got 14 parachutes. So what I end up doing is almost confusing myself, probably confusing the universe. And it's probably sitting there going, what do you want, gal? Because you're telling us you want that, but then you go in, but I'll have it on these conditions. So
Yeah.
it's almost sometimes I can meet myself coming back with this whole.
Okay, I get it. And again, it's like talking to myself. So does that make you not do anything productive?
No, I am very productive. So I will do stuff. It's self-doubt. I doubt myself. So what I'll do is I've got all this, it's almost like an imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
Because I've got all this I've wrote blogs, I've got all the content, I know I can do it.
Yeah.
And then this one little thing that goes, oh, who do you think you are posting that on there, telling them about that? Like, it's literally that bit. And I am learning to overcome it, and I am learning to ignore it and just go for it anyway.
So what does it actually stop you doing then? So what you've got to unearth is, okay, we can have these feelings and doubts, but as long as we're doing it, then we learn to live with it in a way
Yeah.
until eventually we start thinking that way. And that can be step by step. Is so where lies the issue? So what you've got to recognize, if you hold a mirror up to your life and how this is playing out for you, how is it actually a problem? What's it stopping you doing?
So I guess it is stopping me from, I don't, charging people, I guess. So I guess because all my life I've been told the story, you go to work, you earn a good living, which is obviously why I've got a really, really good job in the corporate world. And then I've got this nice coaching, spiritual side that I somehow think, oh, I should just be giving this to people. So I guess it's stopping me from breaking that and going, actually, this is a service. This is something I'm giving people, and it's my energy.
Mhm.
So stopping me from charging, I guess, and turning it into a business, because I've got this almost belief system that it's your true purpose, so you should just do it. And that's kind of the tipping point, I guess, with going and helping people and stepping away completely from the corporate side to go, actually, I'm doing it as a business, but I am also giving people value.
Yes, yes. Okay, so that makes sense. So now when you make a change, instead of it being an untangible change, like and sometimes that's okay, like you feel differently, but unless you know what these feelings and the belief systems are causing you to not do or do, then you don't know how to move forward. We can
Yeah.
still feel stuck. Oh, well, I kind of felt better after speaking to Anne Marie, but I don't really know what to do. I'm still in the same position 3 weeks, 6 weeks down the line.
Yeah.
But if you know that you now have a goal to get out of this situation, to get out of this mindset, to create the thing that you want, the first place you can start is charging people. How does it feel to think that you might do that?
Oh wait, but you know, when you say, even it makes me feel a bit like, oh, ow. It's literally that bit. And I have made progress, because what I have done is set myself almost like a vision and a strategy. So I have to put my logical hat on. It really is this whole, like, if you're this great human being and that spiritual person, you should be giving everybody everything. So I have started to charge people, but then I find myself undoing it and going, oh, I'll just do it for free. And then I'm like, stop it. If you really got to make this your living and have your needs,
Mhm.
then stop that. And it's just like a really uncomfortable feeling. It's so strange. It's hard to describe.
Well, we can look at why that's, where that is, why that is in your energy if you want. We can use quantum holographic echo healing because that looks at your energy. So it looks at all the unconscious stuff
Yes.
and it will look at healing it as well, moving you
Oh,
forward
yes.
to help you break a belief. So who knows, do you know on a conscious level where that belief comes from that you can't charge people for healing services?
Yep. So so I've done lots and lots of unpicking. So I was brought up typical, everyone's got a story, haven't they? But literally a working class family where money, it's almost like survival. Like you have to go to work, and you don't be self-employed, because you're self-employed, it comes with all these risks.
Yeah.
So I was always put on this other path that, oh, don't take risks, don't take risks. And I've broken through those. So I remember like my dad saying things like, we were going to rent a house out, and he's like, well, don't do things like that. If it all could go wrong. My dad, bless his soul, is over in spirit. He was always this person that was literally feet on the ground, just tread water. So I broke through lots of molds. So I've done that. And then what happened is the corporate world, like I said, I've not got a problem. I know I could go into a job and I will hold my, exactly like I said, International Women's Day, I will put my check kind of on the table and go, this is my worth. But when it comes to spiritual or helping people, that belief system came from, I think, the journey you go on when you go to start going to spiritualist church, or when you meet all these nice people who think they are nice, but they're still led by the ego, I guess. So it's kind of probably a belief system probably through my childhood, and also on the journey I've been in, where you're led to believe you should help people and care for people and not charge people. And so I know where it comes from. It's like you said, it's how I then break that and go, right, enough's enough now. And
because there's so many ways that I could talk to you about this. So many ways. So basically, we hold beliefs in our mind, and they're normally not true. But we can find out if they're true by asking simple factual questions to those belief systems. So one question I would say to you is it true then that you're not nice and caring in your corporate profession because you get paid for that?
no.
Okay, so you can be kind and caring and nice to people and still get paid.
Yeah. I know, you know when you know it, and it's like,
So you can go on and on and on and dissect your belief on a conscious level. So you look at it and go, right, because you're very black and white at the minute, which we do. We hold our belief system so strong. It's this and it's that. You know, I'll stand up in a court of law and tell you that you cannot charge people if you want to be nice and caring and help people. You don't charge people for that. Is a court of law going to be on your side and say that's absolutely true, Laura? Are they going to go, that's not true, Laura?
yeah.
You can be that person and get paid no matter what you do. So we can, you know, look at that on a conscious level. Then we can go into the kind of energy side and go, okay, why is that even there? Like, let's look at it. Another thing I'll say to you is, if that's so important to you, you know, to do what I'm doing now. I get paid, but I also do free work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if you've got so much stuff inside you that you want to share it, there is a level of being able to share that wisdom that helps other people for free. Blogs, posts,
Yeah.
freebies, all kinds. And then the important work where, you know, you actually really kind of spending time nurturing someone, going on a journey, hand holding, then you might want to charge for that.
Yeah. I think what you just helped me uncover, I guess, is it's around, I've always been told the story, and I know it doesn't make sense, but the story, I guess, is you have to work for a living. And because this doesn't feel like work when I'm doing it, it's literally that bit, isn't it, that my brain's caught on this loop, like, this is not work. Like, because the story you're told is you have to slave your guts out and you've got to suffer. And even though when I'm saying it, I'm thinking that is so ridiculous. But like you said, it must be on an energy level where you then shift it off for good.
Well, let me ask you this. If in your self-employed business, if you were to slog away, slave away and suffer, would you be happy getting paid then?
No, but probably that is almost where I hook it onto. I guess so. I guess that's probably why. So, you know, when I was going back on it, like, I will be up at 11 o'clock writing blogs, and it's almost like a self-punishment. It's like I'm only worth it if I'm slogging my guts off. And I think that comes back from not even from a childhood. That's probably the job in the corporate world I've been stuck in for so long. It's like you are only good if you're working and burnt out. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I've already had like a light bulb moment.
What's going on for you now as you're processing that?
I know it's not true. It's actually helped me just by recognizing it, going, oh my gosh, yeah. But then like exactly like you said, it's all well and good knowing it and going, yeah, I get that. But then it's that unpicking it's ingrained in you, isn't it? The belief system, how you then change your mindset to make sure every single day you retell yourself that new story.
If you were to create a new belief now today that you were 100% prepared to commit to follow, to do, because we have to do the thing to make it be a belief, and we have to practice it, and then it becomes our normal way of being. What belief is going to help you right now to move forward towards your goal?
I'm trying to put it in a positive way rather than saying I don't need to. I'm trying to change it into
Yes. I am is normally a good one because
yeah.
it's so powerful.
I guess that my new belief would be life is kind. Maybe that's what it is, because even though I don't listen to the news, even though I guess where my upbringing is, everybody is like a small town and everybody is on that survival. Like you only have to kind of crash down, don't you, onto the energy prices, all this and all that. And it kind of brings you down to this so I guess life is kind, and I will always have everything I need.
Okay, why don't you write that down if you can? I mean, got my daughter's pen and my daughter's book. So, go and grab a pen, a piece of paper or whatever, and write it down, whatever feels right. So I'm reading the picture above your head. Does that say, don't wait for the opportunity, create
Great,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, good.
I guess my new I've just wrote down I am enough.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably what it should just be. Like, I am enough. I don't need to give more or provide more or suffer more. Just I am enough.
Have you ever felt enough in your current job in life? Have you always had to push, push, push?
Yes, my whole upbringing, without kind of going the woe for me, I was always the not weird child. I've always had this special ability.
Yeah.
And it's only probably been the past 10 years that I've kind of started to really get my identity again. But when I look back at my childhood, teen years, young adult years, it was all a upward struggle of even questioning, who am I?
Mm.
And I'd internalize everything because I'd never have an adult or a caring person around me that gave me that love, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you almost had that whole just having to question yourself. So it was always not like I wasn't a needy child that was always the look at me, look, I'm doing something. It was always maybe if I do that I might get recognized, maybe if I do that. So I literally thrived my whole working career on nervous energy, I guess, and going over and above
Yeah.
what people expected of me just to prove my worth.
Yeah.
It was like I had something to prove. I don't know who to, but
Yeah. And that can serve as well. But like you say, imposter syndrome, burnout, all of those things when we don't feel and live by, I'm enough as I am.
yeah.
Because quite often we are enough as we are. But who do you think that energy belongs to? If it's not yours, which it won't be, but from your caregivers, who do you think that main energy, the pusher, the overachiever, the do more, you're not, whatever, who's that belong to?
So it would have been my dad. I always remember that I've got this, and I've had lots of shamanic healing and worked on it all. But when I look back, there was never ever a time when I ever heard the words "well done."
Mm-hmm.
it was always at what could you have done
better.
more? Yeah. And then what happened in this, and it's really weird when you go through this journey, even though my relationship, I've been with my partner 20 years, when you go on this whole self-discovery journey, you kind of go, oh my gosh, I've married someone who is exactly like that. So even with my adult life, it has always been that proving. And I've never heard the words, you are enough. And it's not like I need that I'm absolutely fine with not hearing it. What I want to stop is, like I said, that self-torture where you actually believe it yourself.
Yeah. So how would it feel then for you to start bringing that into your life?
Oh, that'd just be like, I feel I'd be content finally with just who I am. Like, and just like I said, wake up each day and enjoy it, because I have always got that little bit of you've like, I don't, not self-doubt, because I know I'm now coming into my own. I absolutely know, I feel now the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
So I know it's there, but it's almost like other people can see this shiny aura around me. And when I always meet spiritual people, they will always say, you've got every single color around you. I can see the gold. And I'm like, but I can't see it, because it's like I'm looking for more. So it's almost like I can't see what I've really got, because I'm still going, but there's got to be more, because this can't be happening to me. That's exactly it. I remember I had we did like this really, really shamanic healing ceremony where I had this vision. And I remember asking the universe, but why me? Like, why are you picking me to do this? And it's almost like the answer I got, well, why not you?
Yeah.
And it's like I can't believe it, because all my life I've always been that just normal working class girl who had second-hand clothes and all this kind of stuff. It was almost like, what, you're telling me I'm the star of the show for once? That's like not. And it's like a different story.
Yeah. So how would it feel to then every day, as often as you can, to recognize yourself?
Yeah, that's what I need to do, rather than kind of going in the but what, kind of just go, right here, right now, I am enough. And when I say those words, it really does feel nice and warm and fuzzy inside. Like, that is literally it.
What would you, I'm interested, what would you stop doing that you're currently doing? Or what would you do that you're not doing, if that makes sense? If you really, really kind of spent a day, a week, a month in that energy of, I am enough.
I would what would I start doing? I'd 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 stop. What I would stop doing is over analyzing everything, because again, so at the minute because I'm balancing everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give 110% to the corporate world,
Yeah.
110% to my building my business and my brand,
Yeah.
110% to my husband, 110% to each child, then time for me. I probably would just go, you know what, I wake up each day and I'm free, and really live in the moment, as opposed to thinking of everybody else and everything else, and just being accepting that actually I've done the best I can.
Mm. That's a really powerful statement that you made, waking up and feeling I'm free. At the moment, how do you feel when you wake up?
I wake up, and every morning I wake up and I always do a meditation in bed. So for that time I feel all right. And then almost like, then I start to feel trapped.
Exactly.
And I look at that, and I think for the past couple of months, I guess I've felt trapped. And I thought, is it because I know it's because I'm in a job that doesn't serve me my purpose.
Yeah.
I absolutely understand that. But then it's like you said, the logical, how do I be patient, trust,
Yeah.
while you transition over? But then while I'm in this, I guess it's quite a negative environment, the corporate environment, and because I've never felt enough in that, actually, because
Okay.
it's never ever been true to who I am.
Yeah.
But I've just done that to tick a box because it's finances, it's what society
Yeah.
does. And it's only now that it's kind of felt more and more uncomfortable as the days and weeks have
Yeah.
gone on.
Yeah.
So I probably would, even if I did that, I'd probably just go, but so it's just a job. It's
Mhm.
not fulfilling my bigger purpose that I know I can do. Whereas at the minute, I'm trying to prioritize everything. So that's when I start to feel trapped, I guess.
Yeah. And then just going back to a question we touched on earlier, that feeling when I said, what does it stop you doing? Now, I just want clarity on it. Does it stop? Because you said you had a load of stuff, like you've got blogs, you've got content, you've got this, that, and the other. Does that feeling stop you doing those things, putting those things out there? Because you said that voice comes in that says,
Yeah.
"Oh,
So I'm, yeah, because it's all, because I mean, some of it's logical stuff like this technology where you're just like, oh,
yeah,
there's that bit. So I've got it on. It's like, oh, how do I get it out there? So I have really, really overcome this compared to where I was probably 6 months ago.
yeah,
That inner voice is gone now. And I do sometimes think, oh, were we? And then I'm like, no, you know what, Laurie? One person might take this and need it.
yeah.
But that's still it's literally still a pivotal point that could stop me or not, depending on how loud that voice is.
Exactly. Yeah. So, a couple of things that have come up. It's changing how you feel when you wake up. How
Yeah.
how your mindset kicks into a default system that says, "I'm trapped. I'm not enough. Therefore, I have to overgive." And your energy is absolutely fucked and doesn't have time for the thing that you passionately want to do. Because in a way, there's no permission for you to
Be free,
be
I guess.
who
Yeah.
you want to be. So, as much as we know we're not aligned to certain things, if we did feel enough, we would know that I'm giving myself permission to do the things that I love to do, no matter what the
Yeah.
circumstance or feedback's going to be about it. So there's things around charging people, believing that, that old belief where everything has to be a hard slog and you have to overachieve to get anywhere, to get paid. So it's like your recompense, your value, your worth is only if you ever give blood, sweat, and tears. And who's the marker for that anyway? Who's the bench marker and judge for that? It's more likely to be you
Yeah.
is the biggest judge of that. How
Yeah.
much blood, sweat, and
Never ever. No one's ever fed back and said that's not enough. I mean, I
didn't
didn't
give
hear
you
the
enough
words when
blood.
I was younger that it was, but then no one on quite rightly, no one's ever said the opposite. So it's almost like a belief I've put in myself. If I've not heard it, then I've got to keep doing more and more.
How would you just imagine this? How would it have felt? How would life have been different for you if, as a child, that person, people that you looked up to for appreciation of who you were shaping out to be, said to you, "I recognize you. I see how hard you're working, and it's enough, Laura."
That would be I think I'd had, well, I know I'd feel like I'd had a lot better life, if that makes sense, because there's nothing, I kind of always justified it, I guess, in a way, because again, you do, don't you, put things in a box and you justify that you, I wasn't abused, I wasn't whatever, so it's, they did the best they can and kind of made excuses up for other people, when actually, you're quite rightly, I need to almost own and say, you know what, I actually wanted that and I needed it, and accept that. Whereas I think I've always tried to, because I've naturally been a carer, I've always taken other people's opinions or their beliefs better than mine. So I guess in my own pecking order, I've put myself down the bottom and put everybody. So it's a self-worth kind of thing as well.
Which means we're puppets on a string because
Yeah.
we're constantly at the whim of other people's moods, other people's belief systems, judgments, all of that. And we're constantly seeking it. And, we can misinterpret signals as well from other people. So, our mind and our belief system, if we're not strong in it, we're so influenced by the outside world that it can crush us completely. and stop us ever achieving what it is we really want to do. So, you know, a powerful statement is this: that was then and this is now.
Oh, that's really, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
That really fits well, because I think it's even though I know I've grown, and in one way I'm very grateful that I have done it, because actually my life probably would have taken a complete different turn.
Yeah.
I've not had this kind of treading what I've called it treading water, because that's all it's felt like, upward battle of more chip away. But like exactly like you said, it gets burnout, tired, and at this point now it's like I just want to be kind to myself.
Yeah.
I want to wake up each day and just go, no, I am enough. Yeah, I like that. That was then, this is now, because actually I've done a massive transformational piece. So
Good. Okay. Let's do a quick QHEH session, if that's all right for you. What
oh,
time?
yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Half 11. All right. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to just connect our energies together. So I don't know if you know about quantum energy, but it's basically, science has proven now we are just energy. They call it quantum energy,
Yes.
smallest unit of energy. And by our intention, we're going to kind of entangle our energy field so I can get information for you. And then I will use my system. It's a big manual, and I'm literally, it's like spiritual kinesiology. So I'm going to ask your body the questions. It's going to tell me where to go, and it's going to paint a story, and then we'll do a spiritual treatment to move it forward.
Fabulous.
Okay. So I'm just going to kind of do my little connecting, and I'm just going to take a minute, and I'm just going to ask you, Laura, just to close your eyes when it feels like a nice time to do so. Focus on your heart center. And then just imagine a cord of light that beams from your heart to my heart, and I'll do the same, just so we can make a deep heart-to-heart connection. Okay, thanks, Laura. You can open your eyes when you're ready. So when I do that, what I'm doing is I'm tuning into my guides, and what I kind of pictured there was your receiving energy. Your ability to receive is like non-existent at the minute. It's like it needs strengthening up. So you can give, okay, but you can't fully receive. It's like you want to drop, it's like a hot potato. No,
Yeah.
I can't receive anything. So it's then strengthening that ability to give and receive, so you're not just outputting all the time. So look at ways where you can do that, receiving compliments, anything like that, just the smallest of things.
Yeah.
Even if your hubby says thank you, or a stranger compliments you, or anything like that, rather than, oh, don't be silly, you know, take it, like look them in the eye, like get uncomfortable with receiving, and start to strengthen that ability. Because if we've got an energy leak, then it's leaking energy. So you want to strengthen up like that giving and receiving.
Yep.
I'm going to use the tarot now. This is the major arcana. So these are all the major archetypal energies in the tarot deck. I'm going to do a 4-color reading to see where you're at. All right, so you put you in the middle. So that's you right now. So that's the star card. So that's you going on this healing path, this energy of complete transformation, of cleansing. It's a renewal of faith. It's a rebirth in a way.
Yeah.
So that's where you're at right now. So now we're going to look at your physical. So this is what's happening in your physical world, in your physical pillar. That could be your environment.
Yeah.
So actually, this is you having the ability to be the magician. So the magician manifests what he wants from the spirit and creates it in physical form. So this is where, because it's in this pillar, you have to watch your thoughts. So everything we've just said now, if you can really take it on board and go, right, okay, if I am the magician, I'm commanding what I want from the universe consciously and unconsciously. We've looked at the unconscious stuff, we've unearthed that. Now it's your job to create on a conscious level by doing the work that's just come out from that thing before that we talked about, because you are creating your environment. So then we're going to look at the emotional pillar. So this is about balance. It's called temperance. So it's either asking you to become a bit more balanced, or you might find that you are being more balanced. Only you know that. But with the temperance card in the emotions, it's about balancing that fire energy that we've got with like the water that we've got. So it's that fire, which is action, I'm going to do it, to, okay, let's just wait. Am I in flow? Like, am I in trust and patience? Or am I in, so,
Yeah,
like,
just get
yeah,
out of the way, I'm gonna do it.
survival, which is the old way of being, based on I have to work hard, I'm not seeing the instant result, I'm going to do this. Then in the mental pillar, we've got the Tower card. So that can be around lightning bolts of downloads, intuition.
Yes.
It can be a change of mindset. It can be like, say, after this session, you might go, oh my God, there might just be one thing or something, insight that you get that goes, fuck, I've believed that for like 30 years. I can't believe it wasn't true. It's a
Yeah.
breakdown of our belief systems and old ways of
Yeah, I
being.
get lots of downloads at the minute. So like lots, because I meditate quite a lot and sleep. It literally, they're amazing,
Yeah,
beautiful. But again, like I said, it's almost like I'll then try and cling. It's like I'm my own worst enemy. It's like try and cling on to the old way, even though it literally is those light bulb moments where I go, oh my God, can you remember when I used to think that? Like, how crazy does that sound now?
that's it. Yeah, it's the breakdown of the old ways of because it's in the mental, the old ways of thinking. So
Yeah.
shift in mindset. And then in the spiritual sphere, which you've got the lovely card, which is the Lovers. So it's a beautiful card to have there, because it's like, you're falling in love with your spiritual self.
Yeah.
Like, it's a complete merging of the two. So that's a beautiful card to have in the spiritual, because it's like a soulmate energy, a soulmate connection that you're having with your spiritual self.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of everything you've said. I kind of knew. It's just sometimes need that, not clarification, but again, that all logical led. My old belief system is for an analytical versus this kind of, like I said, trust in this higher ability.
Yeah.
I've just got a delivery. Is that all right? I'm not being.
No, I'll pause it. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's important we both stay hydrated through this, so our energy stays quite high. So I'm just now going to ask a series of questions. I'm not going to say them out loud, it's unnecessary. I'm tuned into your energy, so that's where I'll get the answers. Okay, so I've just done some pre-checks, and that's just to check we're okay to work together, our energy is clean, and we're going to get a good reading type of thing. So first question I'm going to ask, do we need to look at an area of your life that kind of wants to be a bit of a spotlight for the session? Okay, so the answer is no. So it's just going to give us a general, just to work on the layer that needs the most clearing. Okay, so where are we working first? Okay. Okay, so it's taken us to a timeline. So this can get quite interesting because it wants to show us something about a certain age or an event or who it's attached to. So we can go around the houses. And what I say with this is sometimes you'll consciously register, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then sometimes you won't because it starts to paint a picture.
Yeah.
And if you do want to share anything with me, like if any memories come up, any flashbacks or insights or anything you want to share, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we working here? Okay, so first thing it's showing us is memories. So I'm just going to start to write it down. Okay, so ancestral memories. So did you say you've done some ancestral work?
Yes, so I had done lots of shamanic healing and kind of going back on past life regressions and all
Yeah.
kind of clearing lots out. So,
And what was it that came up from that?
oh, there's been lots of stuff, lots and lots of you say crazy stuff, but it felt so real, like weird where I'd already been kind of attached to my husband, like on a twin flame level, and he took my voice away in previous life stuff. It's
Yeah,
some of it's crazy.
it is. It does come across as crazy, don't it? So let me just see if this is. So I've got memories, ancestral, and accidents that have come up. So it's like, did you ever have a flashback of anything ancestral where an accident's happened or?
So weirdly, because I've had lots and lots of, been with the shaman for 2 years, and every time, you know what it's like, you take a
Yeah,
leg off, and then
yeah,
it's the what comes to me when you say that, and it was quite a while ago when this came up on one of the sessions. I failed at something in a previous life, you know, like literally the way I describe it, and it does, like I said, it sounds absolutely mental, but it was like it wasn't Earth, it was like a different, it's
yeah,
so, people are going to think I'm off my rocker. But it was almost like a planet
yeah,
of some sort. Let's just say it was whatever BC, whatever caveman days.
yeah,
There's lots of rocks around, and I was put on this planet to build something,
yeah.
and it got too tough, and I failed, and I gave up. And that for me becomes this as I'm not enough, because I do believe it's attached to all that, and I kind of wasn't good enough. But I've I thought I'd kind of released that, because we had a session on it where I've kind of accepted it, that it wasn't my time to do it and it was okay.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
do feel it's still stuck to that, because I'd failed before at something. It's almost like now I'm like, right, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm
yeah. It
not going to
always
give
takes
up.
us back to a memory of survival. That's our ultimate reptilian instinct,
Yeah.
where you've died in a past, your first ever experience of death potentially, and how traumatic it can be, or being cast out of the group. Anything like
Yeah.
that is like the root chakra survival stuff.
Well, it was almost like the way I could, because it's so hard to describe it in this, because it's not a human kind of
I
thing.
know.
But the only kind of way I could have described it was Stonehenge. I've always had a real connection to
Yeah,
Stonehenge, and I don't know why, but it was almost like that kind of era where I don't believe it was Stonehenge, but that's the only way I can describe, where we was there to put things places.
right,
It was
right.
meant to put things in different places.
Yeah,
And it got really tough. There was like a fight. There was some kind of event that it was almost like, it was like, right, no more now, that's it. And it was like, no, but let me just finish it and finish it. And it was like taken back to go, no, that's it.
Yeah, it's done.
And it's hard to describe it in with this, but you know, when you're deep in that kind of state with your shame, it's so,
I know. It's
the logical brain comes in, doesn't it? Go in.
yeah, especially when you do past life regression. I've experienced it a bit, and there's just this, you'll just take like the most emotional
Yeah.
from it, and you're
You can
like,
feel it, can't you? But then to describe it when you come back around, it's like, that is like, wow.
yeah, I know. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we need to know about this. Is there anything else we need to know about this? Okay, so it's given me illness as well. So memories, ancestral, something to do with accidents and illness. Is there anything else we need to know about this? No. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it's potentially come through the family line as well. So it might be that, there's a theme of grandparents, their parents coming through with their cellular memory where accidents and illnesses have kind of run through the family.
That probably makes sense where I am right now. So, a lot of people, my grandparents died actually when I was quite young. So I never had that nice, you know how most people had that nice connection with grandparents, and I never got any of that because my granddad died when I was newborn. So even though I've craved that kind of thing, and then weirdly now, and it was all with cancer.
Right.
And my mum's actually just been diagnosed with stage 5 lung cancer. So now, I feel like this is it actually, because she has given up. So I've all of a sudden now a carer, and you know when you kind of go, oh, come on, enough now, because I've always been this giver. And then now all of a sudden, I've never really had an emotional mum, but now all of a sudden I'm now having to give.
Yeah.
For that. So it could be that bit really, but which is kind of blocking me still from being that kind of free person, because I've still got that, oh, here we go again, little old Laura, because I was always a old head on young shoulders. When I was little, I always remember my mama having cancer and I was 11, and I used to have to go to the pharmacist to get her tablets for her and go and care, and it's just always an expectation, I guess. No one's ever said, how are you, Laura? Are you okay doing all this? It's just always been put on me. And actually, with my mum going through that, that's where I kind of link it all back to, maybe. Yeah, I think that's it. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, pendulums go nuts. When I tuned into you before as well, I always asked to see a version of you. And I did see an old head on young shoulders, but it was almost like you didn't know who you needed to be, and you needed direction. You needed somebody to say, Laura, this is who you are. This is who you need to be. Act like this, do that. And it was almost like,
that's exactly it. That's exactly it. I've never known the whole, what got me on this journey, because it's like, who even am I? It was like I woke up one morning 10 years ago, and it's like I'd been whooped, and it was like, who are you? And you know, when you start asking yourself those questions, it's like, wow. But for years, I've always been that person that just.
So what I saw as well was the personality kind of not split, but it was like you could be this massively outgoing, bubbly, singing, dancing person, and that's who I see you as, very effervescent. But then it was like, this serious side as well, like this quiet side that was introvert and knew that they needed to conform. And it was like it was almost, I guess, in a way that you kind of surrendered, and it was like, well, okay, just tell me then.
That you've just literally described the old battle that's been going on for years and years and years. And I always remember when I was little, I had very spiritual. And this came up in one of my sessions actually, where I used to feel like the moon or some connection with the universe. And I used to have an imaginary friend and all this kind of the average stuff. But then all my family was, oh, it's only Laura. Ignore her. She's just off with her rockers.
Yeah.
So I learned to be quiet. I learned not to say who I really was. I learned to just be very, very introverted. And I guess the only consistent thing that I've had in my life is I just used to look up at the sky every night and talk to it, whatever. And it wasn't until later on in life that I've, like I said, 10 years ago, I've started to find myself again and go, oh, wow, I was all those years, I'd tape over my voice because I worried what people thought because I was just too busy being there for everybody else.
So it's interesting, isn't it? You say about your mum, was she having to care for her mum in a way? Although
so she was kind of the only daughter, so it was kind of like she was just there. And it's almost like she's given up because she always actually brings this up. She says, oh, I remember watching my mum and my dad die from this, so she's given up already.
Yeah.
And even though I've got an older sister, it's kind of always on me. And the guilt, not intentional guilt, but again, it's like me being me again, keep my mouth shut, just show up, be the person that people need you to be, and your time will come. So I feel like that's the bit that's blocking me, I guess, because it's always something else in the pecking order.
Yeah. And is there anything you can do about that?
I guess what I've been trying to do is forgiving myself. Actually, that's the first thing I've done in my life. Only recently, I've just kind of been going, forgive yourself because you're doing the best you can.
But is there anything, I'm just going to say this bluntly, and don't take it the wrong way, but is there a part of you that's trying to be too balanced in an area where you need to go, actually, you need to do that, you need to step up? Like, so a bit of you that's being a bit too passive, even though you can be this go-getter in work. Can you bring some of that energy into your life so it can be more on your terms?
Yeah, you're probably right. You are right, I think. It's a very like exactly like I said with the balance. I've got a very feisty side, but then I've also got can't be
passive side.
Yeah, like where I just think so I've been a little bit firmer recently, and I have now like I say, forgive myself every day, but then it's the silence in the mind, I guess, because what I've been trying to do is go, I can't physically get around there every day. And I did say to my mum on Saturday, do you think you should have a carer? So I'm giving her all the options, but then it's almost like a bit of guilt where she'll say no. And then I'll say, I can't come round tomorrow because I'm working, I'm trying to build a business, plus the kids. And it's like that I see this look in where she'll like look a bit like, oh, well, that's not very nice. And I've learned to just kind of go, well, I'm doing the best I can. And that's probably a very, very much first. And that's only been this week, though. Actually, yesterday that I did that, I was like, you're doing the best you can, Laura. That's enough. Whereas before I would have somehow managed to get round there and taken the absolute like strength out of me, because it is hard kind of to gear it up. But again, some of that is on a conscious level. Like, I don't want to have any regrets.
Yeah, I get it. And so what's come forward already is like there's this passing down memories, ancestral stuff around you taking care, your whole kind of lineage.
Yeah.
Take care and sacrifice.
Yes, that's exactly that's exactly like I said, something's got to give for that. Rather than going, actually, you can have balance and you can have it all on your terms. It's very much of a, and I feel like that's probably what's holding me back actually with this business, because what I'm doing is I'm going, oh, well, I'll just, like when I meditate, it's kind of seeing myself on this accelerator, but not accelerating as much as I probably could do because of just in case I need to care for my mum.
Yeah, so sacrificial energy, like coming through the family line, and you know, if you dug, you'd probably see potentially that it potentially comes through the women line. Your mum had to sacrifice something
Yeah.
in order to be there, and maybe your grandmother for her mother, that kind of thing. It can come through. It can skip a generation, but it's not here. It's here with you, and it's then like looking around and going, where else have I sacrificed my life then?
Yeah.
You know, where have I sacrificed and given away my energy? Where is that sacrificial?
Everywhere. When I look at this, actually, um, it's been I've always just pleased other people, really, if you think about it, and let everybody else have and it has, I know this was a self-worth thing, because actually I had low self-esteem, even though nobody would see it on the surface, because again, like I said, at
Yeah,
work, it's
we
why I
put on
cling
mask.
on to
Yeah,
you kind of overcome it, don't you? But it has always been that kind of, it's only my opinion, doesn't matter, because nobody's ever came to me and said, what do you think?
yeah, you
She puts
matter.
Laura
Yeah,
on.
you matter. What's going on for you, even.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see where it wants to take us now. So in this session with Laura, where are we working next? We're working here. Okay, so it's going to show us a core issue and a belief. Okay, so we're in the section of love. And it's can't be. So it's a core issue of love and a core belief of can't be. Does that make sense?
What do you mean can't be? As in can't be loved, or?
I don't know, actually. I guess it's one for you to think about how that lands with you.
Yeah,
So
I have always probably struggled to accept love. And cliche as it is, like you can't love someone if you're not prepared to love yourself. So it's almost like I have always had this, and again, it's work I've been trying to do, is I can be loved. I
yeah,
am deserving of love. Like, because I've always, again, been this little girl who's like never really known what love
well,
is.
it's hard because like what's coming through for me is that you can't be yourself. So who are you asking them to love?
Yeah, because I
Do you know
don't
what I
even
mean?
know
Like
it.
what version of you?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, that actually resonates, because again, it's always been I think when you touched on the cards, though, there is a big transformational thing going on with me. So it has been very much of
Yeah,
oh, even am I? I've all of a sudden gone from this pretending to be this logical girl, that's corporate world, that will just please, to now go, actually, this is who I am.
hmm hmm
Because I've hidden it for so long, because I literally have still lived it in the background, but then not been true, because again, it's kind of like who wants to listen to you?
yeah,
Whereas now I'm on this journey where I am kind of just saying it and seeing what people's reactions are.
yeah,
But then I've still got that blockage bit
yeah,
going, oh, what do people think?
yeah. Okay, so if you were to think about that, so it's a core issue, love yourself, all of that, and be loved, receive love, can't be. Where do you think that shows up the most?
What do you mean in aspects of my life, or
Yeah, if you just sit with that for a minute, love can't be.
um, it's stories I've told myself, though, because nobody's actually, I've never ever, when I think about that, no one's ever questioned, even when I do come out with my crazy ways. No one ever really questions me. They're really interested and go, wow, I can't believe that.
But the
You've got
story you tell
yours.
yourself is
Yeah, so it's literally I told myself, it's just a block that I've got on myself.
what do you tell yourself?
Why me? It's literally it because it comes back to that childhood thing, I guess, on you wasn't special as a child. So I guess it goes back to what you said earlier. That was then, this is now. So it's because I've never been told it by anybody else. I've never known any different.
Okay, so that statement, it can't be me, you know, can't be me.
Yeah.
Like it can't be me that's holding
Lived
the light.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly it. That, and it's so, because nobody's ever said you can't, but then no one's ever said you can. So it's almost like my belief has always been around, because nobody's ever, it was a not confidence thing as such, but it's almost like, you know, if somebody came to me
Yeah.
and said, you've got this, you've, like a mentor or something, said, you've got this capability, go and do, and they held my hand, I guess,
Yeah.
and I'd kind of not question it. But
Yeah.
because nobody's there doing that, it's kind of like I'm looking around as if I'm going, but where's this person that's going to help me?
Yeah.
Because again, I think because it comes back to society where you've been told you're not good enough at school. And my dad, as much as he had this very, very controlling attitude where I'm the law until you're 18 and I'm this and that. So it's almost like, even though I've got this feisty side where I'm like, don't tell me what to do, and I still conform, even though I know it's wrong.
Yeah. In a way, it's like, and I get it, juxtaposition. It's like, yeah, don't tell me what to do, but please tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's exactly, yeah, it's almost like, give me some direction and I'll go and do.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
and it's because the story I've been in all my life around people who told you to conform, who you've always had rules and you've always had that's way and that's it. And I can feel myself like almost as just getting more and more itchy about it, you know, like even school uniforms, for example, the kids, I'm like, who do they think they are to tell people what to wear? And then I'm like, oh, but then we need rules. And so
yeah.
whereas I've always accepted it, and like my old belief systems just started to change, but then it's that bit of going, but what is my new belief system?
Who do I be now?
Yeah, and because there's no,
Yeah.
I think because all my life I've had that logical ed where you've had, like I said, you know, if you go into maths or English or whatever, there's a book, isn't there, that tells you 2 + 2 is 4. Whereas spiritual or beliefs, it's very much of a feeling. And there's no book, is there? Because even you probably know yourself, when you're on this old journey, someone's view of something is totally different to yours. And it's that knowing feeling, which I've never, ever been taught to know. So it's almost like a self-teaching that I'm going through to go, how do I know this feels right? For the first time in life, no one's telling me that it is or isn't. And that's where the trust comes into it.
Exactly. I was going to say, going back to the trust and the patience, you know, that you highlighted at the beginning of the session. It's like, how do I do this without either walking away from it or
because actually believe, rather than, because when I started on this journey, there was, you've probably done it yourself, where you book after book after book after book, and
still.
And then you kind of go, right, well, okay, I've got this
I
life.
believe from all of that. Yeah.
I'm actually, who am I? And it's asking, even though I meditate and ask that question, you wouldn't get snippets of like, you're the light, or step into it, you're like, but what does that mean? And it's then you kind of get all,
I go through doubt. You know, we are logical beings. We're not just pure spiritual, you know, beings in physical. And there is a part of us that's been, you know, given this
conditioned, I guess, isn't it? Or even knowing you've got to do it, because if not, then you would be
away with the fairies, falling off the cliff, expecting to fly, you know. And that might work for some people, but for us who are, doesn't quite work. What's just come up for you then was a recent thing, a surgical intervention, something emotionally unavailable, and birth issues.
Oh, well, I had an hysterectomy.
Right.
So that's probably that. So I had to, I had endometriosis. So I had everything removed.
Oof.
Which is the best. Now I'm on this nice road to recovery, it was, but that was kind of everything gone. And it kind of, I want to say, shut me down emotionally for a while, because
Yeah.
it was very much of a
Yeah.
numb feeling.
Yeah. 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 Okay. How recent was that?
That was it was 2020, so 2020, just before lockdown, actually. So
Yeah, recent then. Okay, so okay, so show me something else about that. And I've got father's issues coming up slightly. It's around this situation now. It could be the children's father rather than your father.
yes,
How was he with that whole situation?
very, as much as I love my husband, he is typical, literally, I love him to bits. Dude, we've got this real pull together. Like, I believe we are twin. We are literally yin and yang. Like, you could not get two people. But it's probably the most consistent thing in my life.
Yeah.
But he is so unaware of any female aspects, anything. So emotionally, he's switched off.
Mm-hmm.
And then that puts on me again, going back to what we touched on about the caregiver and the one that's there for everybody, because he has got no emotional ability. I overcompensate with the kids.
Yeah.
So actually, I've got this pull on me because I don't want them to go through what I went through. Like, it's just, it reminds me of my dad. And, you know, you just kind of have this like, oh my gosh, how did I even marry somebody who was so emotionally black and white like my dad?
Yeah.
And because of all the, I don't want to say, it's not, it's almost, I know using the word trauma sounds a bit dramatic, because it wasn't anything traumatic on the outside, but trauma for a child who needs love, attention and care,
and
to never get that, it really,
it is,
it's massive. And I don't want my children, and like I said, you know, like we talk about the lineage, and I've stopped it with me, because there's no way I want my kids to grow up not being in tune with how they are as human beings, and not even thinking that they've not got one person in the world who's got their back. And as much as I always say this to Steve and my husband, when I've had this, oh, you know, when you're going through this transformational journey, you're like, oh, we can't be together. And he's like, what? Functionally, I'll say to him, functionally, my gosh, he's the person who I'd want in a burning building. But emotionally, he just does not get it. And again, it comes back to that passiveness then, when I just kind of go, I'm tired of even telling him. But when I did some of my inner healing work, I realized I actually don't need approval. It's actually learning to love myself. Mm-hmm. Because even though he's tried to give me love, I've never accepted it.
Yeah, yeah. So the receiving energy. Okay, let's see if there's anything else we need to know about that. And anything else? No, okay. So in the session flow today, where are we working next? Is it okay? Okay, so we should go into another core issue and belief. Boundaries. Okay. Okay. So it's in boundaries, control and boundaries, and the kind of belief is, just check that, there's no escape. So it kind of ties into what we've said.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now it's taking us to look at a physical symptom, which doesn't necessarily mean it's physically happening to your body, but it's going to give us the metaphysical meaning. Okay, so it's the breasts, and it's nurturing, can overly give. Oh my God, can overly give with little or no return.
Oh gosh. What a
Okay. Okay, so that's concluded the session. So, okay, so let's just recap on what we've got. So quite a lot's come up, and it's kind of, what's been your insight highlight from that little session?
Everything that I've been doing internally, working on it, confirms it, because again, what I tend to do is doubt myself, because I have this feeling, like I said, this isn't right. I'm giving and giving and not getting anything. But then I go, oh no, because your old belief system kicks in.
Yes.
So what it's done, it's confirmed actually a lot, kind of where what I knew already, but also again, me being me is that little person that, all right, well, that's it. I need to do it that way.
Yeah, what's come through for me, and it's a word that keeps coming through for me, is sacrifice.
Yeah.
So as you say, okay, you know who you are in a way where you're like, no, it's my life and I'm going to live it, but then I feel, and I've got to do this. So that can be so fucking heavy
Yeah.
for people. You've probably, and it will have come through the ancestral line as well. So in a way, it's questioning, am I doing this because I want to do it, or am I sacrificing myself for it?
Yeah.
Times, Laura, you're going to have to sacrifice yourself. We all do. We
Yeah.
all do things we don't want to do, but how deep it goes for you, because you've sacrificed your whole life
Yeah.
for the sake of others. So to bring back the empowerment, it's it's how deep it's how much you allow yourself to sacrifice yourself going forward,
Yeah.
giving yourself permission to do it where it's absolutely necessary and you want to do it, and understanding the difference between it's a belief ancestral thing.
Yeah, that really resonated. When you said that, made me feel really sad, and quite emotional, because actually, when the truth really hurts, it's like that, because I think what I've been doing is masking it, Anne-Marie, and really masking this old I have, because I've just kind of brushed it off, when actually it really, really does hurt that I've had to do that all my life. I haven't had to, but I've
Well, I
think I'd kind of made myself do it, because I didn't feel I was good enough any other way. I think for me, the biggest piece will be, like I said, putting it into action and drawing the line, because again, me being me is that, okay, if I had a little archangel behind me going, no, that's wrong, Laura, do that. It's that old, because I've had the choice taken away all my life. I then go back and ask myself, so, well, how do I know if it feels wrong and feels right? Because I've closed that down for so long, because I've just charged on. So I guess it's that piece now for me to be able to work around on going in and asking myself, how does this feel? Do I want to do it versus do I feel I've got to do it? And then making the assessment.
Yeah, like what you're saying is so powerful, Laura, and so embedded, and such a massive turnaround for you to make in your life, to go, recognizing who is it that I want to be, like molding that person. I've got so many meditations that you can benefit from, so I'll send you one. I mean, it's
Thank
just
you.
a whole thing of reparenting, healing the inner child,
Yeah.
ridding the belief systems and stepping into the new person. But that thing about moving forward into who you are, it's not going to happen overnight. It can,
Yeah.
you'll start to make the changes, but it's not about beating yourself up. But one thing is going to help you is to question. And it's a case of going back through meditation, if you like, and going, when was the first time I had to sacrifice? And what was the secondary gain?
Yeah.
Because your learned behavior has been around survival, and the way I survive is I please other people. Because when I please other people, I get. So as children, we look and go, that worked.
Yes.
I'm going to do more of that. If I am that, I get that. So you need to look at what you get, from secondary.
Yeah. I guess that's already at home, actually, when you said that, because looking back, my sister and me was so different. She was the loud one, the one that brought trouble to the door. And I was just the one at the background, at the back. So again, so exactly what you said, pleasing other people and just doing what others want you to do. Don't have an opinion or make adults or make people happy. So just do that. That was my survival mechanism.
Because what did that get you as the small child?
It just it made other people happy. And that's all I kind of wanted to do.
And that gave you what?
I think because I'm an healer, it just kind of made me not be in trouble and just kind of made me just mingle in the background as this little introvert, I guess, that just kind of just got left to be on her own.
And what emotional need did that fulfill in you?
I kind of only word that come to me, and I don't know why, satisfied, but I don't know why it would have made me feel satisfied. Looking at it now, compared to as a child, I'd be like, what? But I remember that's the one word that comes.
Yeah, satisfied. Is that what you're seeking now?
No, because actually, what I'm kind of like I said, and this is where the shedding of the skin's been so difficult, because it's like, what? Where's this person coming out?
So think about it in your own time, as that child, put yourself back there. What were you craving?
Yeah.
This learned behavior, what was it giving you? What was it feeding you? One thing that came to me was acceptance.
I was about to say that. Like, that is kind of, I kept thinking, if I do it, someone will accept me. And that actually is probably where I am with this crossroads piece in this business, because actually, like you said, you're putting stuff out there. And even though you're just doing it because you want to, it's kind of like, is the world going to accept me? So I'm holding back a little bit.
Yeah, Laura, that's huge. It's like you're going to look at your own work and go, is this good? Will people accept me for this? Is this
Yeah.
people happy? All those old beliefs. Is this going to make people happy?
Yeah.
To be accepted? Because the worst thing for you as a kid would have been to not be accepted, to be naughty, to be told.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Breakthrough.
Well done. What's coming up for you now? Like what's going on? Ooh.
Oh gosh. I kind of feel like I've done release. I literally feel like I know, like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's almost like I do feel a bit like it's gone. Some of it is shifted already. And I think especially that acceptance bit, even now I find myself doing that with work and right when I'm writing my blogs, I'm reading it thinking, what will people want, as opposed to what feels right.
Mm,
So I guess for me, what's coming up is I'm going to keep asking myself that question.
yeah.
Like, what is it I want?
Who needs to accept this? Is it, who really needs to accept this? It's a massive thing, and I definitely share similarities with you for sure. So I know how it feels to be in your shoes on some level. So yeah, it's looking at your own work and going, is this okay with me?
Yeah, that's really powerful. That felt nice when I said that, when you said that.
All right, so we're going to do the healing side of it now, lovely. So I'm just going to find a few more things and then we'll do the session. How did you find that system? It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really good. Really, really good.
I teach people how to do this, by
Oh,
the way.
no, well, I'm interested in that actually.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a finishing off my hypnotherapy, and
Oh,
then
fab.
I'll look
Yeah.
into that because I definitely want to get into the more holistic side.
I mean, it's a quirky system, but it's brilliant. So the color that we're going to bring in for you is gold. So it's a desire to experience your spirituality, to learn and understand yourself, healer.
Oh,
Which,
that's
ooh,
yeah, that's so
yeah. So remember that it's gold, and it's the desire to experience yourself spiritually, to learn and understand yourself as a healer.
yeah. Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah, so when we do this spiritual treatment now, I'm going to ask you to breathe in that color gold. And as you breathe it in, it floods the body, because color is a vibration, can really lift us. And imagine it like encompassing your whole auric field.
Yeah.
So this spiritual treatment, Laura, there's a part of it that I ask you to repeat after me, because when we're making now like a spiritual prayer, spiritual command, and we're going to kind of acknowledge what's been brought to the surface, and we're going to release it. So if it feels comfortable, just close your eyes, just get yourself in that soul space, that centered heart space, by breathing in to the heart. Because I know you're spiritual, you can imagine just your crown opening, connecting to source. And then just imagine that beautiful color gold. And your next in breath, just flooding into the body. And as that beautiful gold color just floods all over your body, from head to the tips of your toes. You can see it expanding all around your body through your auric field. Almost like you're sitting in a bubble of gold light. Now I want you to repeat these words after me, Laura, and say them with pure 100% intention. I command my subconscious mind
I command my subconscious mind
recalibrate all of the energetic imbalances
recalibrate all of the energetic imbalances
that have been brought to the surface for clearing today.
that have been brought to the surface for clearing today.
And just breathe. Breathing in that color gold. Now repeat after me. I command these energetic imbalances
I command these energetic imbalances
be removed from my cellular memory
be removed from my cellular memory
and deleted across all timelines
and deleted across all timelines
and through all generations,
and through all generations,
past, present, and future,
past, present, and future,
and from any other person
and from any other person
this may affect or be attached to.
this may affect or be attached to.
And just breathe in again that beautiful color gold. And just notice any subtle changes to that color or vibration. Now repeat after me. I now give thanks,
I now give thanks,
for I've received healing
I've received healing
from the spiritual plane of existence.
from the spiritual plane of existence.
Infinite Spirit,
Infinite Spirit,
opens the way
opens the way
and shows me
and shows me
what is now possible as I look into the future.
what is now possible as I look into the future.
And just take a moment, Laura, just to look into the future, where you're free and you're living your life as you want to. Now repeat after me. I now go freely
I now go freely
to receive all that
to receive all that
is my natural birthright
is my natural birthright
of unconditional love and abundance on all levels,
of unconditional love and abundance on all levels,
releasing all energetic imbalances
releasing all energetic imbalances
that have been holding me back,
that have been holding me back,
aligning me with my true spiritual essence.
aligning me with my true spiritual essence.
I replace all fear with love.
I replace all fear with love.
And this is so.
And this is so.
Just keep breathing, Laura, breathing in that colour. Really embedding that highest frequency of that gold colour. Connecting you and fully allowing you to know and feel on all levels who you are as a spiritual healer. And when you feel ready, Laura, you can open your eyes.
Oh, wow. My hands was tingling so much doing that.
Well done. Okay, now I'm going to give you some aftercare. It's an affirmation. So where is it? Oh, and it's an affirmation for confidence. Okay, so I have complete confidence and belief that life will support me no
Right.
matter what I do.
I have complete confidence and belief that life will support me no matter what I do.
Yeah, so I'm going to douse to see how many times a day and for how often you need to do it. So how often does Laura need to do this? Is it more than 7 days? Is it 7 days? So 7 days, and how many times a day? Is it more than 3? More than 3? So twice a day for a week.
So 2 times a day every week.
7 days, yeah. And keep breathing in that colour as well. Did you notice any changes in the colour or?
So weirdly, you know, when we were saying the affirmation, I noticed like a blue come out of me, and I think it's blue, the throat chakra.
Yeah.
Like as if that's kind of gone out because that's what's been holding me back, like being true to who I am. So that that got a vision of that going and kind of like the gold kind of spreading in, but it went deeper as we started to reaffirm it. So fabulous.
Well done, well done. So I hope you've enjoyed your session.
Absolutely.
Be kind to yourself because you've processed, you've brought up a lot of stuff for yourself there. So you've made a lot of insights and awarenesses, and it takes time to process. So be kind to yourself, drink a lot of water, use that color everywhere you go for as often as you can. It's so powerful, color cleansing. It's amazing. Say that affirmation, and obviously I'm here if you need me, and I'm going to check in with you anyway in a couple of days. So yeah, thank you so much. It's lovely to meet you.
So that was amazing. Thank you. I
Glad you
didn't
enjoyed
know what to expect really. So that's really Good. I'm intrigued now as well to learn that. So I think that'll be something I'll probably will be in touch with.
Yeah, definitely. We train all the time. You can go to teacher level in this as well. So we've got loads of teachers that train other people in it as well. So there's, there's always someone doing a training in it.
Yeah, I'd be really interested to bring that into my practice
Yeah.
actually.
Oh,
Go on people. I think the journey I'm going to go on now is just realize who I am and market myself to that as opposed to trying to be so logical. So this bit is probably good to it. But thank you
your,
so much.
your story, talking about your story, I mean, even talk about the insights that you've had today. Share vulnerabilities within you, because that's how you connect, because
Yeah.
they're going through the same stuff, and that's why they'll see you as somebody qualified to help them, because you've walked in their shoes.
Yeah. It's such a not a weird game, is it? But like I said, when you kind of you just rubber stamp things and go, well, there's my certification. Well, actually, this is a knowing feeling into it to what to do and how to heal people. And it's so
Yeah, you do
different.
it by being you and
Yeah.
your experience as well, your experience.
But I will definitely be in touch to look at learning that and bringing that into it.
Yeah. Well, it's been lovely spending the time with you. Thank you so much.
Grateful. Thank you.
And yeah, we won't lose touch, that's for sure.
No, yes, absolutely. And I'll do that affirmation
Yes,
for the next week. But thank you. I'm so grateful for that.
my
Thank you.
pleasure. My pleasure, lovely. Take care. Enjoy your day.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.